Okay, here's our video for the number properties quiz. Okay, question 1. Which statement illustrates the identity property of multiplication? Identity, we're going to see this a couple times. Identity property means we're going to do something, we're just going to get that thing back. Now, let's see what we're talking about here. We're talking about of multiplications. What you want to think about then is when you multiply something by this number, you get that number back. So this is what represents that, because anything times 1 is just going to give you that original number. So 9 times 1 equals 9. Well, that's the identity, because you're still getting 9 back. All right? So 9 times 1 equals 9. That's the identity. Now, similar, we have identity property of addition. So we think, well, what are we going to do? What are we going to add to something to keep that number? So in this case, that looks like this. Anytime you're adding 0, that's identity property of addition, because you're not going to change. You start with a 10x, you're going to end up with a 10x because you've added 0. So identity property of addition is adding 0. Identity property of multiplication is multiplying by 1. Okay, which of the following is the multiplicative inverse of 4/3, or 4 over 3a? Okay, anytime we think about inverse, just think we're going to flip it. Okay, so we're just flipping everything. So a multiplicative inverse of 4 over 3a, then we flip it, 3a over 4. Now, additive inverse. Okay, additive inverse, we're just going to do the opposite. Again, in this case, flipping means just changing. You have a minus 4b. Well, the additive inverse would be a positive 4b. Additive inverse, we're going to do the opposites. Okay, which values for x and y make the statement quantity x plus 3 times quantity y minus 11 equals 0 true? Okay, so what we do, we're going to take each one of these. This looks like a couple things, but it's actually, whatever it is, we don't know what it is, but it's just one number, okay? Likewise, this is just one number. So what we do, we just take each part. We say x plus 3 equals 0. And we're also going to have y minus 11 equals 0. Then we just go back and we solve each one of these. So we're going to do the opposite. We're going to subtract 3 from both sides. So x is negative 3. And if we come over here, we're going to add 11, because we're going to do the opposite. We get y equals 11. So you have two answers to something like this. X is equal to negative 3, and y is equal to 11. So similar situation here. So we have two equations. X plus 5 equals 0, and y minus 6 equals 0. So again, we just go back and we solve each one. Oh, sorry about that. Subtract 5 from each side. X equals negative 5. And you can probably already tell then that this one is going to equal, you're going to have y equals 6. So x equals negative 5, and y equals 6. Do we have that? Here we go, right there. Okay.